Well, it just amazes me how many ladders it takes to get through the day. Huh? That's just a few of mine, but we're going to hang these rascals, and I'm just going to get these. These are the ones I don't use every day, and see if we can't find a place to hide them, to get them out of my way, but easy to get them. All right, well, here's our biggest issue. Is where we're going to hang these and how we're going to organize them, where we can make sure they're easy to get to and all that. So this big ladder, I think what we're going to do is put these parallel at the bottom. The heavy ladders, extension ladders. So that's what I'm starting to think about right now. So we got a 10 foot, I got a 12 or 14 foot and an 18 foot. So, and then I got 2 8s, a 10, and then a small little 5 foot ladder. So that's what we're going to try to figure out some way to space these to where they're easy to get to, but I can still park cars in front of them. So everything will kind of use up some of this wall space that we don't have any use for. It just sits here. So, but I don't want to punch a bunch of holes in my side of my sheet, or the sheet metal on the outside, because you know that's going to look tacky having that metal. So I was sitting there trying to figure out. I thought, well, why don't we put some 2x4s up off these bracings, come down and put hooks off of that. That way we can at least have it where it'll be functional inside, but the outside of the shop, you won't see all those screw holes and it won't mess up the finish. So anyways, that's where we're headed. So let's see what we can come up with. I bought some Tech screws, just to Tech screw this to the frame. Since the lumber's 1.5 inches, which you all know that, so I just went with 2 inch, because we're just going through the metal of this thing. Should be plenty to go through, and that's one with a Tech screw. So it'll be that. Hopefully we can drill the wood with it. We may have to drill a hole and then put it through, but we'll see. And then I bought these little racks, these little deals. They say they'll hold 25 pounds. And we're gonna hook that to the 2x4. And then that'll hopefully hold the ladder. So that's kind of what my thoughts is, but I wanted to stay narrow enough to where we could still park. I didn't want to lose any space parking and getting doors open and things like that. Every time we have to sit there and start having to paint doors because we were banging them into the ladders, that wouldn't do us much good. So that's kind of my thought. But I've got a big 3-foot pillar over on this side that when I did it, I'll show you what I did. You can kind of see right there on that corner, well, right over there, that junk's sitting on it, and that's a big chunk of concrete. And so what I did is I made it wide enough to where I'd force us all to park a little ways from the door, so we wouldn't have to worry about hitting the doors and all that. It just kind of makes us forward, because each one of these openings are 25 foot. So we got plenty of room to put 2 vehicles in each bay without doors slamming. All right, well, let's see if we can stuff, but hopefully, I'm hoping that we can just drill this through and it'll work. But we may have to drill holes and then put these in, but we will see how it works. I think that's going to work fine. Now, I'm not getting real technical on this. We're going to show you what I'm thinking here in a minute, but I'm not going to swear we're not going to have to move it. Let's see, where did I put? There they are. I'm kind of winging this as we go. So, who knows how this is going to end up. We might move things 5 times today before it's all over. So, let's just see if we can't drive it in. All we need is a touch. I think we'll be there. Here we go. Well, that didn't work either. through the first one real well. This one is fighting us tooth and nail. We're gonna put a long one across for the bottom ladder, for the top, the heaviest, and then we'll come back and probably put one in the middle and we'll stagger the other somehow or another, stagger those others. And then we'll come back in and put some light ladders on top of them, so I'm thinking. So they'll go parallel on the bottom and those others will be upright. It's kind of my thoughts. Tell you what, I think that's gonna work perfect. So let's just turn this camera around a little bit over here. One of these days y'all make me enough money where we have a cameraman. We'd be professional. Then we'd be good. So what I bought were these little hooks. I may have already showed you this, but they hold 25 pounds. Something simple, just 2 little holes in the back, boom, boom. There we go. Hopefully this will just zip on and hold these ladders good. That's all I'm really caring about. This is where I could use a hand. Having someone else hold my ladder, keep it level. That one. Gracious. Amazing how things keep getting heavier and heavier every year. Any other thing we may use once a year, twice a year, you just never know. It's just it's just one of those things that just needs to be handy where we can get to it, but we're not going to use it that often. So that's why I decided to hang these out here, just out of the way. The next one to go there. Run us another board right in the middle, I guess. I can't tell you how excited I am about that. That makes things so much easier. Well, we want it high enough where I don't have to pull this one off to get to the other one. So let's raise it about 6 or 7 inches above. I think so. I think that'll be the catch out, I believe. But what we're doing today, one other thing, is this is going to be our first longer video. I've always just done shorts messing around, but I thought, well, it's hard to get things really put into a project. We're doing all this stuff. So I thought, well, I'm going to try one. We'll see if it does. I don't know. It may do so bad that it's not worth the effort of messing with it, but we're going to put one out. We're going to try to do that every once in a while and just see if it'll get a few likes, and maybe people will like seeing that and understanding. Because I do all sorts of different projects. You never know what in the world we're going to come up with, but it's just one of these that needs to be done. Still, I'm gonna put in this video what I used to put these ladders. Just so you'll know how much of a pain it was from the past. I'll probably cut in a little clip of what I used to put these, because then you'll understand how much of a pain it is to get one down when these. All right, well, you can see I got those raised up, so we're basically in business now. It's gave me all my floor space back, and all those silly things are out of my way. All right, now we're going to hang these other ladders in that open space we've got left over, and we'll see how that works. I think it'll work fine. All right. Heck yes. Look at there. Perfect. I mean, I can even drop it down if I wanted to, I guess. exactly what I wanted. Look at there. If y'all can see that, that gives us 5 ladders out of the way. Outstanding. All right, now, where are we gonna put the big boy? Yeah, I think we hang it on this side over here by itself. All right, see these little hooks right here? That's what I used for that project we were just talking about. Let's see on my little wet receipt here. We paid $3.98 for those. Then we paid $14. Let's see what this was exactly. I'll tell you. $14.98 for the tech screws. For the tech screws. And we got a lot left. And then we paid $3.65 for the lumber. So we've got 3 2x4s up there. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 hooks. So let's add that up. For $73.69, we built that rack. I mean, that's about as simple as you can make it. It gives you lots of room. You don't have to go out and buy those fancy racks. You know, I was looking at some of those things. They were $20 a piece. Heavens forbid. I mean, you can spend a fortune, but just a little ingenuity and thinking just a minute, you can save a fortune. And I think this will work just as good. And it looks pretty decent for where I'm looking at it out here on the edge of the shop.